Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have great pleasure to present very interesting article of Professor Ragauskas from Tennessee University and his latest ideas about pretreatment of rhinoceros. What is rhinoceros? Rhinoceros is important. My name is Gawel Solosky. I'm from Bengal University. Uh, what is I will start. What is rhinoceros and what is Professor Ragauskas' latest idea? We're using theory. Rhinoceros is very complex material of of plant waste for agriculture and culture industry and furniture, and the processing can lead to very useful material waste for anaerobic digestion, pyrolysis, and other treatment, leading to biofuels or uh, to renewable materials that will replace conventional method using for fossil fuels. The biggest trouble in case of especially biological problems is presence of lignin and necessity of their removal. There, Professor Lebowski's developed method of using siren, which is coming from the dihydroglycogenol, which is hydrogenated glucosan, the levoglucosan, which is very often product of pyrolysis of cellulose. Pyrolysis is in case of catalytical is the breaking depolymerization of method using heat and energy for the process, and in the case of catalytic is supported and energy is lower by using specific catalyst. And siren is one of possible method, especially using little hydrogen from levoglucosan and forming the method. The um, the siren is thought to be cheaper than ionic liquid and organosolv and more less uh, expensive than hydrogen sulfur, which is more corrosive material of pretreatment. And mm, if we use the developed method to lignin separate earlier, we can have method for better reduction of anaerobic digestion and lignin. The most important lignin-derived compounds are catechol, vanillin, perchloramic acid, and 4-hydroxyphenyl alcohol. And these used frequently as in food industry for components and the pharmacy. In case of hemiceros, we have also tetrahydrofuran and gamma valecloractone, which are deep alternatives that can be uh, useful for many for many processes. For example, as addition to fuels and siren is method that that the one from using can be used also for pharmaceutical, but in case of lignin, it in case of if lignin, it will show that the lignin has got higher viscosity, and therefore the lignin will go up and will be easier to separate from hemicellulose and cellulose, which are good material for biological methods. Siren has two centers, therefore, so they can both work as acid and base. So some part can, if we activate, in case of adding some sulfur will lower, mm, will promote lowering of pH, so we need less hydrogen sulfide acid. And other part of this polymer of this oligomer compound serine is that can, in case of basic solution, it will shift. Mm. And this siren has quite is low in solubility. Mm, so the lignin will not be solved in while cellulose and hemicellulose will be in case of ethanolic solution. So this can stay in the test in the vessel, the lignin. And and Professor Agauskas measured the efficiency using tree cellulose, which is useful because if we have furniture producing, we have much amounts of such waste, and we need to utilize them usually. And hydrolysis and pretreatment is often useful to be necessary to be used in other methods than pyrolysis. And even in pyrolysis, it helps to because the siren is method needs to be produced from clean cellulose. So we see that this siren allows furniture industry to be self-producing this siren, and therefore using this to lignin extraction fast than useful for feed. And woody biomass was in quite not so high temperature, 120. So usually, to use such for production, we need without siren, we need higher temperature of 180. So using higher and this allows for less expensive equipment because if we want to produce this treatment higher than 180, usually to go to supercritical, it needs very resistant steel to be produced to be safe. Therefore, we need this as woody. This siren will make lower production and is much cheaper than most ionic liquid solution, which are quite lowering but quite expensive in production. So this is another advantage of a rest pretreatment method, and therefore such after siren such cellulose is quite non is low crystallinity of cellulose, so low crystal material are favored to feed in dark fermentation over crystal. We don't know why, but bacteria doesn't like so much like crystallinity. So if cellulose is more crystal, the bacteria dislike more. So if we have low crystallinity of the biopolymer, the production for anaerobic digestion and dark fermentation for beta and hydrogen will be higher a bit, some 10% higher. And were useful also for paper. For paper also was very in-case treatment. So this siren is very promising material, and we can use have all in case of only lignin produces the treatment. If after this separation, we can produce easily break this to the monomers as syringil, guaiacil, and resinol, which can be used as DIMS or in the pharmacy after checking. And this shows that siren is very useful and very helpful for breaking, for reducing the lignin condensation and easily separating, removing the lignin from lignocellulose, which is most inhibiting material for many bioprocesses. So can be even used in many processes, because even for polyurethane can be used. And so not only to biopolymers but also for waste plastic. So this is very helpful reagent used to recycle waste, polymeric, both biopolymer and synthetic some. So thank you very much for that, for my listening me, and thank you for listening me. Thank you for opportunity. Thank you very much.